Welcome to our morning sing-along. Haha. So this is our gathering music. We're as Jory said last week, we're trying something a little different. Just going to sing a whole bunch of stuff together and get in the space for the service. So all the numbers are up here on the screen. So you're going to get this gray hymnal. It's this big one right here. And I'll give you a second to find the first one, number 361. Enter, rejoice, and come in. If you've been coming here any time at all, you probably know this one already. And if you don't, that's great. You can learn. It's awesome. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. All right. Yay. All right, number 389, gathered here. Let's feel this one. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit. One more time, y'all. Just one more time, okay? Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Wow, awesome job. Let's go to number 188. Okay, cool. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yeah, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. You know, we usually do that one as a round sometimes. Who wants to do it as a round? Anybody interested? Let's just keep going? Okay, cool. That's fine. All right. They said no. It's not my fault. All right, so everybody knows this, right? Let's go. This little light of mine. All right. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yay! That clock is wrong.
Good morning. I am going to start off the welcome with a reading. It's called Come, Come, Come Whoever You Are by Marilyn Falkowski. We welcome you. We know you come here for different reasons: to find community, to seek your spiritual and personal truths, to question, to nurture your heart and soul, to be nurtured, to explore new ideas, to find comfort, and perhaps to find the answers to some of your bigger questions. We welcome you. We know you come from different places, different religions, different beliefs, and different backgrounds. We hope you will find comfort, connection, challenge, and love here. We hope you will find ways to provide outreach to others in our congregation, in our local community, and in our world community. Now, good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. My name is Fawn Smith and I work for you. I've been UUFF's office administrator since May of 2011 and hope to stick around in service of this beloved fellowship for years to come. Thank you for having me. Unitarian Universalism is a religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. We uphold the unity of our interconnections, connections to each other, to all of life, and to the precious universe of which we are a part. We affirm the universality of love and hope as we journey together in community. And we welcome you, whoever you are in this moment, and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. For those of you joining us online, hello, welcome. If you are new, please check out our website. It's at uufayetteville.org, and you can find more information there. Now, for those of you visiting us for the first time in person, you may have been given a clipboard with a visitor card when you came in. If you weren't, you'll find in the seat back in front of you one of these. And if you'd fill that out with your information, we could get you connected, get you on the email list, and so you'll know what's going on. Let's see, later in our service, we'll have a time when you're invited to come forward and drop a stone symbolizing your joy or concern in a bowl of water. If you have a joy or concern you'd like to share, we invite you to fill out one of the yellow cards from the seat back in front of you. Nice, bright, can't miss it. There's a place on the card to indicate whether you want it to be shared out loud or not. And people who are joining us on Facebook, you can type your joy or concern in the comments, but please know that there isn't a way to make that private once it's on there. So if you have a need for hearing assistance, our AV tech, David, can help you out. Now, children are always welcome in our service. If, however, they suddenly and definitively indicate they prefer a different setting, there's a staff nursery downstairs. Please remember to silence your cell phones as we enter into our service. And I now welcome Joe Ucolano up to give us our gratitude moment.
Thank you, Fawn. Good morning, everyone. Welcome and glad you're here in the sanctuary, as well as those of you who are tuning in on Facebook Live. My name is Joe Ucolano. I currently serve as the immediate past president of the board of directors for our fellowship. The gratitude moment today is an opportunity for me to, I've been asked to share why I come to this fellowship, give you a little introduction about who I am and where I came from, and why I stay, and why I come here and serve this fellowship. So, as I said, I've been here for working on this committee and doing a number of leadership roles over these past several years. I've been coming to this fellowship for, I counted up, about 25 years, and have really enjoyed being here. This is a time for, I guess the other thing to share is that I have been retired now for the past 8 years, had previously worked at the University of Arkansas, had 2 different careers at the university. I was in student affairs work for the first half of my career, and the second half of my career I was in fundraising and doing development work, raising money for the graduate school and international education and various other places within the university. So I've also helped to serve as the stewardship chair for our congregation to ask you to provide your financial support, and that's part of my gratitude moment today is to implore you to not only get involved as a volunteer, but to also provide your financial contribution for the many, many good things that happen here as a fellowship. Many of you may know my personal story is that I began coming to this fellowship, as I said, about 25 years ago, and finally decided to become a member after about 7 years when I actually signed the book. It took me some time to make up my mind that I was indeed a UU. I was baptized and raised Roman Catholic, attended Catholic school through high school, and even considered Catholic schools for college and college choices. Had really thought I might become a priest, but couldn't accept the celibacy rule. I really wanted to have a wife and a family, and chose to do that instead. So for many years, I had my foot in both places. I was actually attending Catholic church and Unitarian church for some time, and then the Catholic church in Taneytown, where I was attending, changed their service time, and I had to make a decision as to whether or not I could continue to do that or come to Unitarian. And my son at the time, I think he was about 7 years old, he says, "Well, Dad, this is the place where I want to be." So again, I think that we made the decision, a lot of the reason why was for religious education that not only I was receiving, but also what he was receiving. So good for that. My gratitude, I gave, as I said, I gave this about 3 years ago, and gave this testimony about 3 years ago, and I look back at what I said the last time, and so I apologize for many of you who might have heard this same story, but I've had to change some of the reasons why I'm grateful for this place. The last time I gave this talk I was grateful because with my Catholic upbringing, kind of there's a personal relationship between me as a congregation member and the minister or the priest that I come to. And years ago, I guess that we haven't had a full-time minister for about 4.5 years now. And so back then it was Reverend Jim that I had a personal relationship with. In fact, he even officiated at my wedding. So really have, and I continue to have that same kind of feeling of connection to one individual. So I'm grateful, that we've had a minister during that time. But things have changed now over these past several years. And we've had part-time ministry. And I guess in my own reflection on this, that, the second reason I was grateful for being here was all the friends and members of this fellowship. And in these past 4.5 years, that has emerged to be the connection that I now have with everyone. And at the risk of maybe overlooking or not recognizing, but I really do want to call out the people that really make a difference here. And when you hear this, I hope that for those of you who are not particularly involved, will consider becoming more involved, because we need everyone in this small congregation. We have about 115 active members of our congregation. And all of that is run by about 45 people, working on different committees and serving in different ways. And so I first want to be grateful and express my gratitude for our board of directors. I can tell you that Joanna Person-Michener, Natalie Emmons, Leanda Gavin, Melly, myself, spend countless hours trying to do what's best for our fellowship. And we need people to be part of our board of directors, so please consider that. But I just can't believe the number of hours and the amount of time and effort and dedication that people who are serving on the board provide. And many of you seated here have served in that role as well, and so thank you for that. I also have to give a note of gratitude to Renee Jansky, our associate minister and music director. In this past time of transition, she has stepped up to be able to provide for us ministry in addition to the music that she so carefully and joyfully does for us. So thank you, Renee. Her team in the music department I can't overlook is Brenda Parker and Jory Costello and all the guest musicians. Melly helps out, the choir, everybody who helps in that area of music. I mean, those are things that we can all be grateful for, and I am especially. I want to recognize our paid staff. I mean, we could not exist without Fawn Smith as our administrator. And she has stepped up and done so much during these times of transition where we've not had any kind of continuous minister and ministry in that area. So thank you, Fawn, and thank you to the others who we don't see in the times. We have a custodian who comes in here and takes care of things. I don't know. I know who she is, but I've not seen her. Does her thing. Amanda. The other person that we pay to do some work is Alex Emmons. She takes care of our nursery and coordination, and she's downstairs, so a shout out to her as well, and thank you. I don't think I've missed anybody in the paid area, but let me turn now to what happens on Sunday to make this particular service possible. And I have a great deal of gratitude, a lot of thankfulness for the Chalice team, ably led by Gene Vinzant and his whole team, working with Renee, working with the technical staff of David and the rest of the crew that make sure that we can broadcast this fellowship service elsewhere. So thank you, Gene, and thank you all who serve on that committee to make really interesting programs for us every Sunday. Another shout out to Natalie Emmons and Tressa Disney. We have had a really burgeoning group in the web of life that has become more of a commonplace service for us here at the fellowship, and those have been very well done and very interesting. So I am grateful for that. In the area of religious exploration, which is another kind of pillar for us in terms of what we do, I, every week that I come here and participate in the mindful discussions of the adult religious education program, and so special thanks and shout out to Brooke Eldridge and Kate Kowalski, who tirelessly do those programs every Sunday and give us an opportunity to express ourselves and be part of the topics that are up for consideration. Of course, I mentioned one of the reasons that really got me here was because of my son and the youth religious education programs. And so certainly want to recognize Stephanie Bentley and Leanne DeGavin and Ruth Parcells, who really take care of our children and our youth ministry needs downstairs. So thank you for that. We also have a program that we often don't see, and that is we have a meditation program that happens prior to the service and off campus. Actually, they're only doing it on Zoom. And Inez Polonius and Caroline Lennox have been integral in providing that ministry for many people. If anyone's interested in kind of a Zen Buddhist meditation time, that's what they do at 9 o'clock in the morning. So let me move on and just say, as we talk about having the ability to have our Sunday services, it doesn't happen without a social hour and a coffee time. And Carol Olson is particularly helpful in making that happen, keeping things going in there. So I'm sorry, am I missing somebody? Tressa? Oh, I'm sorry. Tessa. Tressa. Yeah, I did. I mentioned Tressa. Yes. Yes. Okay. For taking care of the slides as well, in addition to so yes, part of the technical team. Carol, thank you for the social hour, the social time that we do. The membership team takes care of our greeters, or at least helps to identify people who will come and greet. And I have to say, Bill Nichols is here as part of that every Sunday, and it's always nice to see his smiling face welcoming us. So, and he's out there right now. So, we have a program called Circle Suppers, which was affectionately done by the late Mike Shermer and Kathy Shermer, his surviving spouse. That has been picked up by Rebecca Bryant. I think we're trying to get that going again. It's a time for us to have social time outside of our Sunday services and have some fellowship. So thank you to Kathy and Mike and Rebecca for helping to make those happen. So did I mention Charlotte Taylor? She's the one that coordinates the membership team and organizes the greeters. And so I'm certainly grateful for her and the leadership she provides. We have a justice team, justice work that does a number of things about topics that are important to us as UUs, and that's led by Dinah Nash. We also have Elizabeth Littlepage, who works our website, as well as takes care of helping us with accessibility and inclusivity kinds of things. Laura Brewer takes care of overseeing our grounds, and Earl McShane takes care of our building. All of these areas need your support and need your volunteer effort to help them, because all these people that are doing these things are doing this out of their volunteer effort. So, and lastly, let me thank the people that perhaps don't give their time and talent because for whatever reason they can't, but instead give their financial consideration to this fellowship. And we hope, and not to say that those who are volunteering are not giving financially, because we all need to participate in that way and provide a financial pledge to our fellowship. But we have some really, and they will go unnamed, but some very generous contributors, a handful of contributors to our fellowship that help to keep the lights on and keep this place running. We've had in the past, as you know, we've been able to secure some additional funds by selling our annex, so we have a cushion to go on. We had an unexpected death of one of our members, Jeff Barnes, 2 years ago. and he made a significant financial contribution to our fellowship. So all that I can say to you that I'm so grateful to have what we have here as a fellowship and continue to come here because of the people who are doing these kinds of things. So let me stop there and just say thank you, and let's get on with the rest of our service, but do hope that others of you will take the lead and continue to do the kinds of things that many of us are working to do here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning, friends. It was the summer of 1994, and I heard it was a hot one here in Fayetteville. A group of Unitarian Universalists gathered in the nursery downstairs. Back during that time, there was no air conditioning. That's a commitment. So these Unitarian Universalists decided that Fayetteville needed more UUs on the city council. That night, as the members discussed the future, several folks decided to run. They did the hard work of campaigning, and 4 got elected to the city council. 4 people from our fellowship were elected to our city council. Those Unitarian Universalists affected change in our area, and I would call that commitment. I was lucky enough to have lunch with Ann Pritchard the other day, and she shared that story with me. She also reminded me that our Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville has been a beacon of liberal religion here in Northwest Arkansas since April 5th, 1965. It was not always easy for our founding members to have such different religious views from other folks in town. They answered a lot of questions from their neighbors and colleagues. But these founding members knew how important it was to have a choice. Dear ones, I believe that UUFF is on the brink of a growth spurt. And I would like to see us grow closer as a community and go deeper with each other. Our stewardship campaign, which I like to call our commitment to the community, has its soft rollout this week. And yes, this is where you make your financial pledge, but it is so much more than that. Yes, it takes money to run the fellowship, to pay the salaries and all the bills, but it's so much more than that. This pledge card is also a way to share yourself, your time, your talents. Maybe volunteer for something epic, like greeting or singing in the choir. See what I did there? Yeah. UUFF is worth your time and talents. We are worth it. This is the place where we can walk in and know that we are with like-minded people. Every time we come through the door, we see our family, our spiritual family, our UUFF family. You belong here. You matter to this fellowship and to me and to our leadership. This is the place where you are celebrated for the gifts that you bring, no matter the size or type of those gifts. I am committed deeply to you and the church. Let's all commit deeply to the church and see what happens. How can we make our radical hospitality even bigger? How can we open our arms wider to our community? We do this important work by making our commitment together. Joanna, would you light our chalice?
Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together. There you go.
Okay, so our hymn is Spirit of Life. This is probably the quintessential UU hymn. It's number 123 in the hymnal. Small story. When my child was born, I was gifted a blanket that had the words, "Roots hold me close, wings set me free," embroidered on the corner for my child. I really am so glad for this congregation to be a place for roots and wings. So if you'll stand with me and we can sing together, stand in body and spirit as you're able. And let's sing. We're going to do it through twice, okay?
May be seated. Ordinarily, right here, we would do our story for all ages. We are going to move into the joys and concerns now. And what we are about to do is the same thing as thousands of other UUs across the globe are doing today. We are dropping stones in water. I love that global connection. All the ripples from our stones mingling with the ripples from other communities. So, if you filled out a yellow card, now is the time to bring it up and drop a stone into the water. And all are welcome to participate in the dropping of stones. You do not have to share a card. You can simply drop a stone. Friends, you may come forward. Brenda, will you offer us some music? Thank you, Brenda. Here in this space, we are gathered to be together today. Here we are gathered, called to be in community, like a family, our UUFF family. Here we have gathered to remind ourselves of joys and goodnesses and to hold space for each other through the hard stuff. Part of our gathered space are folks that are attending virtually on Facebook, Virtual UUFF. Beloved Facebook attendees, we are with you and we are here for you. Thank you for sharing with us today. Joe, will you drop a stone for the unnamed joys and sorrows for our Facebook community? Here in this space, some of us have come in pain. Joe, will you drop a stone for the unnamed sorrows? To those of you that are suffering today, we are with you. We are here for you. Let's pause, take a couple of breaths, and gently hold all those concerns, named and unnamed, that are gathered in this room today. Let's breathe. Once again. One more time. And friends, in the complexities of community, it is right that in this space, some come with joy bubbling in their heart. Joe, will you drop a stone for folks that are holding joys in their hearts? Many of us. Let's pause and take a couple of breaths, rejoicing together, remembering the wisdom that says joys are multiplied when shared. Breathe with me. Once again. Here in this space, we are called to weave the web of community. Let's remember these shared joys and concerns and hold our community in our hearts this week. Natalie.
Good morning. I'm Natalie Emmons, and I serve this fellowship as treasurer on the board starting this year. And I'm very grateful to our board, as Joe mentioned, and all the hours they put into helping think about how we're going to move forward in the future and all kinds of exciting things that we're wanting to do as we grow. I work with the finance team as treasurer, and want to give a special thanks to those people who are Earl McShane, Susie Schrader, Dawn Rosenbaum, and Sarah Fatak. Susie Schrader has been serving this congregation and its financial needs and accounting for 39 years, and I think that's amazing. Hopefully I can do the same. Thank you, Susie. And she's been a wonderful mentor as well. I also do work with Tressa Disney as a co-lead for Web of Life, and I do love doing that and sharing our love for nature, spirituality with the rest of the fellowship. And I'm going to lead us in our offering today with a few words from the UUA library. Every week in our church, we take up an offering. It's good to remind ourselves that the offering is symbolic as well as practical. We know that it is through pledges that we build our budget and fund our yearly programs and ministries of worship and religious education, pay our staff and professional religious leaders, and finance the comfort and beauty of our buildings. And we know that we could easily submit those pledge checks to the church at any convenient time. But we pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks for the blessing of abundance, to visibly bring in the harvest at this most cherished hour of our week. Our offering says that the act of giving is as essential to our spiritual well-being as anything else we do here on Sunday mornings. The morning offering will now be given and received in the spirit of grateful fellowship.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. During the opening words, I shared with you about the brave Unitarian Universalists that campaigned for elections and won seats on the city council. And now I want to tell you about someone else who is legendary in UUFF history. In 2002, Reverend Rhett Baird was our minister, and he made national news when he made the following statement, which was based on one of his sermons about the rights of gay folks to be able to marry. Reverend Baird is our minister emeritus here, and these are his words. Based upon my experience, my well-considered deliberations, and the values which shape my life, I have come to believe that the state of Arkansas has no right to withhold the legal protections of the status of marriage to persons because of their gender. I have come to believe that the state of Arkansas has no right to say that a love that exists between two adults has no standing in law because the gender of one of the persons is not pleasing to the state. I have come to believe that love does not come into being nor thrive and grow and sustain the lives of people to please the state. The state, I believe, was created and exists to serve the people, all of the people, and to promote life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to all of its citizens. Therefore, get this, y'all. Therefore, effective July 1st, 2002, I will impose a one-year moratorium on my acting as an agent on behalf of the state. During that period, I will honorably and joyfully create and officiate at religious ceremonies that honor and celebrate the love between two people, but I will not sign marriage certificates legalizing a bond that is not accessible to all people, without regard to gender. Couples eligible for such legal sanction may choose to seek out the nearest civil office to do the duty of the state. During this self-imposed moratorium and protest against what I have come to believe are unjust laws in this state on the subject, I shall function only in my ecclesiastical role as an ordained minister in the Unitarian Universalist tradition and shall respectfully refrain from acting as an agent of the state. This is a thoughtfully considered private act of conscience, a symbolic gesture of values that must be lived out It is not intended to represent any other person or group other than my authentic self. Whoa. That was our minister in 2002. This got picked up by CNN, and Reverend Rhett was instantly famous in Fayetteville, and he effected some serious change. I'd call that commitment. Friends, this is our recent past. We have big things to do. Reverend Baird was committed to his beliefs about marriage equality. Look what he did. How are we to show our commitment? From our humble beginnings on April 3rd, 1965, and those pioneers that began our fellowship, to the UU City Council members in 94, to Reverend Baird in 2002, y'all, we have legends at UUFF. We hold a legendary legacy in Fayetteville. Our community has been a beacon of light and hope for liberal religionists for over 50 years. And what I also want to say is this. I look out across you, the congregation, and I see legends, and legends in the making. Each of us bring many varying gifts to this community, and each of these gifts are important. Just like the founders, just like Rhett. Our fellowship would not be where it is today without these people of our past and without you. You are our present. We are creating our legacy here. So how do we reach out to the future legends? This is one of the things that I would like for us to commit to together. A bigger, louder welcome. Unitarian Universalists do not proselytize. We don't go door to door. Usually we're word of mouth and kind of a, learn from your friends sort of an organization. We believe usually that folks that need to find us will find us. And sometimes I think that people in Northwest Arkansas know about us and they don't. You know how mainstream Christian organizations have a bring a friend to church on Sunday? What if we did something like that sometime just to see what would happen? What if each of us told a couple of people about UUism and our fellowship? How can we extend a more radical welcome? How do we make this tender place wider? How can we be a brighter beacon of religious liberalism here in Arkansas? Because I tell you what, we need it now more than ever in 2023. Beloveds, here's the secret. It's you. You are the beacon of our fellowship. It's your light and it's my light and it's our light shining together that makes us so bright for our community. I'm proud of us, our past, our present, and our very, very bright future. If we bring our authentic selves to the table, along with our commitment together as Unitarian Universalists, we can do anything, anything, anything. Thank you. I'd like to shift to the water-giving ritual now. One of the great things about being a liberal religion is that we get to adapt our rituals as we see fit. I have a few favorite services that we do here at UUFF. The flower communion, the bread service, and definitely the water ceremony. I know the water ceremony means a lot to many of us. We recently held our water ceremony for this year on September 10th. For those of you that may have missed it, the water ceremony, sometimes called ingathering, is the start of our fall semester, our program year. And this ritual has been happening every year since the 90s. Everybody brings water from somewhere else to the service that day. It could be from your summer travels or your garden hose or your favorite swimming hole. Mine was from my gym where I work out. And we each bring our water to the front and pour it into this large bowl, a communal bowl. Then I took that water and boiled it so it, wouldn't grow any friends. And I've taken some of that water and put it into small containers to give back to you. Water from your spiritual community. This fellowship nourishes us and sustains us like water. Our opening hymn, Spirit of Life, is the unspoken national anthem of UUism, and its lyrics and Melly referred to our roots and our wings. In your little bottle, you will see a piece of amber for our past, our roots, and some little buds of lavender for our wings, our future. I want one of these bottles to go with you to your house. Now, this is one per household, not one per person. There's only like 40-ish. But I want you to keep it where you can see it. Where you can see it and think about us. Maybe keep it on your altar or by your Bible or your journal or whatever religious book or meditation book you're using. Or maybe in your office by your computer. Wherever you or you and your family hang out. So please come to the front or send a member of your household to come to the front to get your water. If you would like us to bring your water to you, just raise your hand and Stephanie will do that. Brenda, will you offer us some music? Thank you, everyone. I want to sing about it. Let's sing about it. Our closing hymn was written by my friend, Summer Osborne. The chorus says, I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as I can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. Now you can join in on all of it, or you can just join in on the chorus, but let's rise and sing, shall we? I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. Nothing can illuminate the darkness like a serenade. Nothing can make peace like a song. We've got a way to go, but then we're closer than we've ever been. So let's walk together on and on. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. I propose a family that looks a lot like you and me, including all the people that we love. Then we'll take a photograph of everybody as they laugh and put it in the book entitled Us. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here, I am whole as I am. It may seem just like a song, it may seem just like a thought, but sooner will take hold, become a truth that's taught for generations and generations and generations. Let's feel it. I am here, I am whole as I am. I am safe, I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect that last line one more time. I am here, I am whole as I am. Thank you. You may be seated. Joanna's going to extinguish our chalice, and
Okay, back to extinguishing. Thank you, Sam. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we're together again.
Dear ones, you are the beacon of our fellowship. We deserve to be a part of something awesome like this. Our community needs our beacon. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for blessing this fellowship with your presence and your time and your talents and your pledge. Thank you for loving me and supporting me in my ministry here at UUFF. I can't wait till next week. Namaste.